GI symptoms, not after surgery, but before surgery. We're a surgery center. And we have a lot of patients that are thinking they're having heart attacks, but it's almost, a lot of times, not always, they get worked up and it's anxiety related or stress related. So it's good, I'm glad you went to the ER, but sometimes I always think about the alternative. What could be going on right here that's, we can't, your airways open, things are working right. If we're stressed, it really has an impact on us. Anxiety, so we can talk more about that.
Well, welcome everybody. Happy New Year to you all. 2024. Wow. I was thinking of that the other day. 2024. Thank you for coming. And whether you had a wonderful holiday or a challenging, you know, I don't know, maybe you came here to relax a little bit. My name's Jenny. I'm one of the dietitians, and Brianna's our clinical social worker. You got us today, and we're going to talk about a really good topic. We're going to talk about setting goals. But let's start with our normal introductions. You can share your name. You can share anything. You can share your victories. Maybe share definitely where you're at in the process.
Or your struggles. Share where you're at, literally.
Yeah, I'm here because I need some encouragement in this area, or I need some advice about this, or I've, lost 50 pounds, and, I'm looking forward to a new year of really trying to get, a little bit closer to my goal. Whatever you'd like to share. So, go ahead. Would you like to start?
Hi, my name is Shannon, and I had my surgery on December the 12th. 2023. As I said, right now I'm just struggling with getting in the protein and drinking enough fluids. This is the other thing. People see me and they always say like, why are you getting a surgery? You're not that big. And I'm like, well, it was a journey like getting here. So my highest weight was 263 pounds. By the time I got to Dr. Antonetti, I actually had to get another surgery, which, I have diabetes, so I was taking Trulicity. I lost a little bit of weight on the Trulicity. My numbers still wasn't getting better. That was one of the reasons why I was seeking surgery to reverse my diabetes. So I had the hernia and the TIF procedure done first, and I had lost more weight before my actual gastric sleeve. So that was the journey, but New Year's I did hit under 200 pounds. So I'm happy about it. I just want to work on getting the protein in and stuff like that, because I did notice that I lost like a lot of muscle.
Yes.
But I'm just happy I did it. I relocated here 3 years ago. I used to live in Philadelphia. I had actually seeked out to get the surgery before this, like maybe 10 years before, when I was actually having a lot of health issues and things like that. But the process was so hard. Like, it took so long to like get the things done. And when I came here, it was the fastest and the easier process. So I like the way they had everything set up. Before, I had like a hard time finding places to go to get the counseling, to get signed off for my site things and stuff like that. It wasn't easy, so I had never followed all the way through until now. Like, I started in March and I got my procedure done in December.
Wow, great. That's great. Good. They're really trying to promote gastric bypass surgery for the treatment of diabetes with a BMI under 35. Yeah, so it's growing in popularity just for that, not even weight loss, Yeah. But good for you. Good for you. Miss Jan?
I'm Jan. I had my surgery September 19th. I've lost 68 pounds.
That's awesome.
And I have more energy now than I think I've had in years. So I did a lot of cleaning over the holidays. Things I didn't even notice all the stuff that needed to be done. So now that I'm feeling better and I have more energy, it's like my husband's looking at me going, why don't you sit down? I'm like, because I don't wanna. But, it's been a good journey so far.
Great. Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Steve, and I'm here to represent all of the men.
Yeah, where's the rest of our
That's
men?
right, give you a male perspective. I just had my surgery December 5th, so it's been almost a month. And it's been all good gravy for me. I mean, the only side effect that I've had was initially afterwards, had a lot of nausea, but you know, if I just like drank something or laid down, I was okay. But as far as this last month, I've been, you know, sticking with the program. I'm taking my pills and drinking my Ensure Max Protein, and you know, have a little, you know, the little soft foods and stuff like that. But overall, it's been a great experience. The reason I got the surgery was my whole family. We were skinny when we were young, and then at older ages, I'm the youngest. All my brothers and sisters are huge. So my brother, my oldest brother, they're starting to cut limbs off now. So I was like, I don't want to be there. So when I hit that magic 300 number, that scared me, and I was like, I got to do something. So this last month has been good. Like she said, I've been like more energetic, less lethargic. You know, my knees don't hurt as much, so it's been a good ride this past 30 days. So we'll see what happens after that.
Great. That's awesome.
I came late. I don't know what to
Oh, we're just introducing ourselves, and you are welcome to share whatever you like. You know, if you're in preparation, if you've had surgery, if you'd like to share how much you've lost, if you don't want to share that, if you know, you're
Okay, that's
really
cool.
whatever you'd like to share,
Okay, well,
or not.
Okay, well, I'm Kim, Kim Scott. I actually just had my surgery on the 20th of December.
Okay.
So it's been a bit of a struggle. The first, I guess, the first week wasn't too bad. It was just, you know, waking up, I call it, you know, from having the surgery. I don't know what they gave me. It was good stuff. Because I slept for a good little while, you know. And so this second phase that I'm in now, I'm kind of struggling in because it's hard to get the protein down. It's like I was drinking the Fairlight, like pretty much daily or what have you. But then it started to taste nasty too, you know. And I was like, you know what? I don't like this. I can't do it. And it was started making me nauseous. So then I was like, when you was working, how you use the Orgain protein powder.
Yeah.
And so I did one scoop, and I'm over there with my oat milk, and I'm like, yeah, we can do this, right? Until my aunt said, no, in order for you to get 20 grams, you have to do 2 scoops. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh.
So which meant that the milk was a little bit thicker, you
yeah.
know,
That was
and
hard.
that's, it, you know, it was a different consistency. So next thing you know, guess what? Start feeling nauseous behind that too.
Oh.
So I was like, you know what? I don't know what else to do. So then I called up today, and they had shared with me to try the protein water, you know, and see if that worked. So what happened, because prior to having my surgery, I didn't really eat a whole lot anyway. I wasn't really getting hungry. But after surgery, I'm like, I'm starving. I'm hungry. And that's when I said, I think that surgery worked, because now I'm actually hungry, you know, I mean, like, hungry, you know. Yeah, I mean,
Are
it was
you
really
getting your
weird.
fluid? How much
Yes.
fluid?
I'm getting about right at 64 ounces,
Oh, that's
you
good.
know,
That's
so
good.
it's like I'm sipping my water, I'm doing my broth, you know. That can be a struggle too, but it's the protein, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's like having to do the protein and the water,
Right.
you know, it's, you know, I mean, it's like I've gotten closer towards the end, I call it, you know, like these last 3 days or whatever, I've been able to hit it, but it's just a struggle, you know, because figured out that there's this book that y'all gave us that my husband was hoarding. I didn't even say he was hoarding it, right? And I looked at him one day and said, wait a minute. They have a schedule in here. It says 8 o'clock you can drink water, 9 o'clock. So it's like I started using that as my guide,
Good.
or what have you, and that actually kind of helped, you know. But then it's like if I was busy doing something else, and I'm looking at, oh crap, it's been 2 hours, you know. So now I'm trying to catch up, you know,
Right.
with wherever I left off, you know.
Yeah.
but it's like a combination of that, and then some of the medications is starting to kind of like upset my stomach, if you will. So, I mean, but other than that, just, you know, those few things, it's been okay. It's been cool. It's been better than any other surgery I've had, you know. I'm actually surprised that I'm up and moving about now
Good, yeah.
versus any other surgeries I've had. And then lastly, the reason why I had my surgery was because I got tired of my doctors, and this is gonna sound bad, but I got tired of my doctors telling me I was obese.
Oh.
You know, and I'm like, hey, I thought it was pretty cute, you know, but you know, that's like, yeah, but your BMI is this and then I started thinking about my family history, you know, and how my mom, she's, you know, heavy set, you know, or what have you, and she's diabetic, and you know, it's like, and I'm like, I don't want to be like that. Then I found out my daughter was pregnant, and I'm like, I want to be an active grandparent, you know, or what have you. And so I don't want to be that grandparent and say, help me up, you know, because of my weight, and then because my body's riddled with pain or, you know, inflammation or what have you. So I was like, you know, I gotta, you know, do something different to change it, because I noticed that obviously the older you get, the harder it is to lose weight, you know. And so I'm like, I tried it, I did it, you know, I lost 25 pounds, gained it right back, you know, but it wasn't immediate, but it was still gaining right back. So I was like, no, I can't do the seesaw thing, so I had to do something different.
That's great. I was just gonna make a suggestion, you know, you can thin out your protein, if you like the Orgain, you can use just 1 scoop, if that's very tolerable, but just know it's not 20 grams.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Don't
Yeah.
make it, like, maybe the way the recipe says is just too heavy
Okay.
for you.
Okay.
You know, so use just 1 or 1.5, but
Okay.
just know you're only getting like 10 to 15 grams.
Gotcha.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
That makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
don't make it thicker than what you can tolerate.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Makes
yeah.
sense.
10's better than 0.
That's true.
That's right,
Absolutely.
that's right.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, but it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying the process.
Good.
I hear you here.
I'm Marcy. I had a gastric bypass in March of 22. I've been maintaining, at a year I had lost 100. I've been maintaining it.
Right.
I did it for severe reflux. That's why I chose bypass over sleeve, as well as diabetes and worsening high blood pressure. Just genetically just predisposed to all of those things.
That's great.
I'm doing okay. The holidays were a little bit of a struggle this year. They weren't last year because I was still in the process of losing weight. But a little struggle this year. I'm still maintaining.
That's great. You look great.
Thank you.
You know, I'm noticing, if I can interject here, or I'll forget, is a lot of you are saying your whys, you know, why you did it, you know, for a lot of your health reasons, or to be a great example for your family, you know, just never forget those whys, you know, and if they're getting a little cloudy the further you get out.
I think they help you stay on track.
Yes.
Remember what your whys are.
Yeah. I like that, because a lot of times when we do the groups, we don't talk about that. Yeah.
I'm Jennifer. I was sleeved about 10 weeks ago, and I'm down 25 pounds. And I'm like, oh, it's only 25 pounds. But then I'm like, oh, it's 25 pounds.
That's right.
And I guess my problem is I haven't had any problems like knock on wood. Like once I was able to, like I've been getting my water, no problem, proteins, no problem. Every time I introduce a food, no problems, and I love food. So, and it's like, that's like for me, like that's what I'm like struggling with, because I notice it's so easy to slip back into those old kind of patterns, and it's like, oh, it's only one, it's not a big
I
deal.
found that out this holiday.
Yeah, so then it's like, no, because like we really have to stick with, you know, like for me, I have to get the protein and the lipids in, because otherwise I'm just hungry all the time. I thought having the surgery would stop me thinking about food, but it's like I just think about it more all the time. So it's like, oh, okay, well, nothing's really changed except I can only eat so much. So that's like gonna be like, I just have to remember it's a tool to use, and I have to focus on that. And something that, because it was really hard for me to learn when I was like getting those full cues. And then for me, it's hiccuping. So that's like, I didn't realize that was one, but that's like my fine because I don't really have that, oh, you're full. I just get to the point like, oh, where I could probably stop eating now. And then if I have like another bite, then I'll start hiccuping. So I'm like, okay. So, yeah, so I would say I'm a pretty active person than I was before, and that hasn't, like the first couple of weeks when we were on limited calories and stuff, I was like walking up the stairs and I'd be like, I'm exhausted. I'm ready to take a nap now. And then thankfully once I reintroduced actual foods back in, like around 6 weeks, like that all went away and I just feel like everything's back to normal and stuff. So hopefully I can just continue. I just have to tell myself, oh, you're doing it slowly, so then that way my skin can bounce back, right? Like that's the thought, that's the hope.
You need to
So,
maintain it, right?
So what?
And you maintain it. You know, if you lose
Yeah.
it too quick, it's
yeah,
hard.
that's the thought. That's what I tell myself. That's when like, yeah, if I do it slow and steady, I'll eventually get there. And it's, yeah, because otherwise, yeah, what's the point of doing this? I know, but it's like everyone's like, oh, I lost like 40 pounds. I lost like 60 pounds. I know. I can't compare.
It's
And
hard
I'm
though,
like,
isn't it?
yes. And I'm just like, at this track, and I'm like, if I could hit that 100-pound mark by this time, I'm like, I need to stop focusing on that and just focus on today, and then tomorrow, and then meal prep, and then just get through it. And then I can't help it, but I do weigh in every day.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna put my scale away. I've been doing the same thing.
No, I think
Yeah.
I'd rather know. I have to know every
And you
day.
say only 25 pounds,
I know,
but
but it's-
5-pound bags of sugar. How much was that? I mean, well, that's
Oh,
a lot.
actually, I do have like a 5-pound block of fat because I'm also
Good.
like a fitness instructor. So I would bring it to class and be like, you've only lost, or I have a pound and 5 pound. I'm like, oh, you only lost a pound.
Big, isn't it?
This is what you lost. And I'm like, it's true, like, look at that. So I was like, I'm able to tell other people that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to myself, I'm just like, so, but yes, that's me.
If I could add something really quick, what I did for myself, because I was really like you and I lost my 25 pounds, right? Yeah. This time I said when I had the surgery, I said I'm not going to get on the scale until I get to the doctor, because I had a friend, that also had the sleep done, right? And she was like, so, how much weight did you lose? I said, I don't know, and I don't care. I'm not going to find out until I get to the doctor. She's like, you're on the weight team? I said, yup, sure am, because I know me. I know that I'll be like you, get on the scale and if it changed, or if it went up, or if it went down, or whatever the case may be. And that is like the worst. It's actually, if you're looking for something to change and it doesn't. So the only thing I can kind of encourage you to do is, if anything, do it once a month. Don't do it every day, because it's going to change. That water weight's
I do
going
it
to
every
change.
3 weeks.
That's a
Yeah.
great
Because I
idea.
wasn't
Every
gonna
2
let-
weeks.
And I wish I
do
could
every
do
2
that.
weeks.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna let the scale dictate my food.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that would be great if I could do that.
You can do it.
And you never know, whoever's saying I lost 40 pounds, 60 pounds, really? Did they really? I don't know if this
Right.
is online, but you never know where they started. There's water attached to adipose tissue, so as people lose, adipose tissue, they lose a lot of fluid too, so.
And are they having any other health-related problems that's causing them
Yeah.
not to get their nutrition in?
Yeah.
A lot of people leave that out
Yeah.
sometimes too, and there's some other health things that happen sometimes
Yeah.
where they lose it maybe too quickly, not in all of the right ways. So
I'll just be the caboose slip up the rear for a minute. I'll get there. I'll just be in the back.
Hey, I'm Tina, and I have just celebrated 1 year since my sleeve. I had my sleeve surgery December 22nd and of 22, and so it's just been wonderful. I've had a great experience. I mean, there have been some difficult times like everybody else, and especially those first 6 weeks with the liquid diet and then soft foods and pureed food. I mean, it's like, how long do I have to eat these soft foods? But there's been, a lot of struggles, but there have been some great victories for me, and non-scale victories. I have lost, all total, since my highest weight, which was 2 weeks before my surgery, I was at 289. And so I just weighed in last week at 200. So
Great.
I mean, it's, pretty exciting. I was hoping that by my year anniversary, I'm like you, like dates, that I would be under in that 100, that wonderful 100, whatever they call that, so that I would be under the 200 mark. But I didn't make it, and it was okay, because I was, I have done so good. The biggest thing though is, like everybody else, family and health and histories and all that stuff. Those are reasons why, I wanted to do it, but what really was the catapult was that I'm now 63, and so 2 years ago, my doctor was talking about, well, now if we can't keep your A1C down, keep your, blood glucose readings down, then you're gonna have to start with insulin. And I was like, no, that is not happening. My body is still doing what it's supposed to do, and it's just that I'm not, paying attention to it, and I'm not doing the things that I'm supposed to do, and with keeping the weight off and eating better and those kinds of things. I've tried and done well, and tried and done well, and like everybody else. So I had to find a new tool. It's just like what you said. I had to find a new tool, and so I did. But I also 2 years ago started. I had arthritis for many years. Been diagnosed with it for many years in my lower back and my knees, my hips. But I got to the point where I was having to use a cane every day to get around. I couldn't get on my knees to play with my grandchildren. That upset me more than anything else in the world. And knowing that they're now 8 and 4, and I was looking at a future of not being able to walk with them on their walks, to play frisbee and to play ball in the yard, or to get down. One's a boy and one's a girl, and the girl is the youngest, and she wanted to play dolls, and of course she's on the floor, and Aunt Tina couldn't do that. And so, well, my grandchildren, they're actually my niece and nephew, but they're like my grandchildren. I call them my grandchildren. So, anyway, and going to the zoo was impossible. They would have to stop with me all the time to rest, and before I could start back again. So those were my reasons for seeking something different for a weight loss journey. And so I, knew about, because I know several people who had the sleeve and bypass, and so I knew very much about this practice and about the surgery, not everything that I needed to know, and so then I started doing research and came and talked with, these folks here, and it has just worked. I am no longer on, I was taking metformin for the pre-diabetic, and of course the day of the surgery when I was discharged, Dr. Strickland was my doctor, and he said, don't take that anymore, and because he knew that from my history that I was not going to need it any longer, and I haven't. And so everything has been great with that. Well, about 3 weeks ago, I'm completely off of blood pressure medicine.
Oh, that's great.
I had gone from 25 to 10 to 5, and then I was having some consistent low blood pressure readings that were, just not good, and I was not feeling well. And so I'm off of that. Then that's with my doctor, of course, approval. So there's all sorts of things like that that have been wonderful, and just all sorts of non-scale victories, and those are the things that you really have to count on and write them down, so you can remember what those are and the date when it happened to you, and then when you look back at that, in your different little readings, if you keep a journal or in your notebook, and you'll see those things, and it'll remind you why you keep doing what we need to be doing every day.
Well, hey, my name's Sarah. I had the bypass 3 months ago. I've lost 45 pounds. It went a lot better than I thought it would. There was like the normal things, but nothing like as crazy as I thought it would be. And for me, I'm just like getting back to almost like regular life, I guess. And I've been so like structured and like tracking everything and like so worried about like messing up that I'm kind of at this point where like I want to get back to like going places with people and stuff like that and figuring out how to do that with still,
You
following
can.
what
I
needs to
still
do.
use my fitness pal. I'm
Yeah.
religious, obsessive about it, and you still, I just kind of wing it. I go out to eat, try to guess as good as I can.
Yeah, that makes me nervous. So I'm just trying to
Yeah,
like figure
I
that whole thing
understand.
out.
When you said you wanted to get back to like, going out with your friends and stuff like that, I had family members that came to visit me, and it was so annoying because nobody wanted to eat, and I'm like, they like, oh, well, we not gonna get nothing to eat because you can't eat. I'm like, well, y'all still have to eat. Like, everybody was just acting weird.
Like my family came for the holidays and they like my mom cooked like all of these healthy foods and I was like I can't eat all of them, like I can eat just a little bit, but yeah, like it's going through the holidays was different and not knowing like what to do, so I'm just kind of in a like weird space and trying to figure out.
Seem to be doing all right with that.
Yeah, you have.
You'll figure it out.
It's great.
I did, I had trouble trying to figure out how to do that too. Yeah, but it's, we'll figure it out.
And wait until you're ready, if you're not ready to, if it makes you really uncomfortable to eat out, and you just feel like you're not mentally prepared quite yet, don't let the fear overpower and take over when you don't do it at all anymore, but wait until you're ready, and I think that's okay to say, I don't trust myself in these situations quite yet, or I just don't feel up to it. I don't know what I'm able to tolerate. Because that's a big thing, what the spices and everything that everybody cooks with. So just give yourself some grace. You're still very early on, so you've got this. But yeah, wait until you're ready, though.
And then use the skills that you're already doing when you're ready. Pre-plan, like look up their menu, oh, I can tolerate this and these vegetables, kind of go into the plan. And then it's just a matter of feeling comfortable, continue to feel, you get more and more comfortable. I always tell people don't try new things out. Oh, I should be able to eat this, and then you're not able to. Yeah.
Just ask for a carry-out plate and just take most of your food away. Ask for a bag,
Yep.
sit it down beside you, and just have, on your plate.
That's
Do it
good.
though.
Yeah.
It's like, where's my scale? I need to measure this food. I don't know how much I have.
I was like that too, and yeah, I never bought the scale with me. I just tried to eyeball it the best I
I
could.
did.
You did.
You can always also, there's a trick that you use with your hand, especially when it comes down to meats. Like how much it is for a cup, different cups and stuff like that, or whatever it is. So that helps too.
Yeah, I took measuring cup and scale.
Bring out a Ziploc bag with your measuring cup.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Polly. I have not had the surgery yet, and I came here for support because I don't really have much support. So that's why I'm here. I am looking forward to having the surgery, and reasons being is that I am obese and I have a lot of health issues that the doctor told me at one point that I would have to go on insulin if I didn't get it under control, and I'm not doing insulin. So having this surgery, I believe, will help me, not for a quick fix, but to help me to get myself on track. And hearing all of your stories is kind of encouraging, because I was on the fence, about having the surgery because of, so many stories that I've heard, some successful, some unsuccessful. So I'm looking forward to it.
And hopefully you're hearing, like, in the gals that are longer term out, it's been a lifestyle change, you know, they've changed their lifestyle, you know. And like you said, you're not in for a quick fix, you know, when you want long term. Yeah. Did you say Polly?
I do.
Polly, okay, I didn't get the P. Okay, good, welcome, I'm glad you came.
Yes.
Yeah, well, like we said before, yeah, we wish more people before would come.
I'm Emily. I had surgery in June of 23, so about 6 months ago. Like you were saying, I have more energy than like I've ever had in my whole life. Not really, but like just in a really long time. I'm down 100 pounds and I had a lot to lose. I was over 400 pounds and I still have more to lose clearly, but that's okay, and it's just kind of one day at a time, every single day, even just tackling it as it comes. So
That's great.
Hi, I'm Crystal, and a lot of y'all probably heard my issues. I had gastric bypass on the 5th, so it's been now 4 weeks today. And I dealt with a lot of nausea and stuff since my surgery. But the reason why I did the surgery is because of all the everyone's what everyone else said. But within 5 years, I gained 67 pounds, and as if I was pregnant. And I had been diagnosed within those 5 years with fibromyalgia, Hashimoto's disease, which means my thyroid just no longer works, which means I couldn't gain or lose weight for the life of me, and sleep apnea, and just a whole slew of other disabilities. I mean, I have been on disability since then, and I knew that now that my children are adults, that I'm going to have grandkids one day, so I want to be able to get on the floor with maybe a little help, but I want to be able to get back up without, you know, a crutch or something else. So, anyway, that was I needed to do that. You know, I needed to lose weight, and you know, my highest weight was 267, and my sister said, "Well, you're not as big as we are," but I'm like, "Well, I'm still big. I'm still morbidly obese according to my doctors. My doctors all told me, you know, Crystal, you're worth getting the surgery. You need to go get the surgery." And had all of my doctors write a letter telling Dr. Strickland she needs to get this surgery, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll go get it. But I knew I needed to get it because I had really bad gastric reflux, like you had said, and it was eating away at my esophagus to the point where it was causing me to have throat issues, where beginning of this year I lost my voice for 2 months. That's how bad it was, and it was starting to affect my ears. That's how bad the acid reflux was. So, and now I'm having voice issues again since the surgery. But anyway, that's a whole other issue. But anyway, that's just my thing. And since surgery, I've lost 25 pounds, probably due to me being nauseous. And I'm having issues with not getting the protein in and more water in. But I'm trying. That's just that's me. Good.
That's all of us. We all in this thing together.
The nausea is just out of control.
Listen.
And I'm sorry to say this, but I've been throwing up a lot, and I don't know what to do.
Do you have like
If
girlfriend?
anybody had, that makes it worse.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
I love some girlfriend.
Yeah.
And the smells. I don't know. Anybody else deal with
It's
that?
stronger, right? You can smell everything. Yeah, I'm like.
I have to get out of the house when somebody's cooking. I can't do it. I feel like I'm pregnant. I can't do it. I can't do it. I haven't been pregnant for 20-some years. I can't do it. I don't know. Anybody has any tips, tricks?
You had said you're gonna try another medication, right? You're gonna try that.
Dufenegrin, but we'll see.
How do you?
But I don't know if I can work and I'll probably be sleeping on the job.
How do you tolerate popsicles?
See, I could do them before surgery, but now it's kind of like I can't do them.
No.
Everything has a different taste.
That's
You won't always have that. That will eventually go away. Because I had the same thing. I couldn't do protein shakes. I couldn't do anything artificially sweetened. I couldn't do.
Yeah,
any of that. I had a problem with
I'm having a
water.
problem with the
after
art.
surgery.
I'm having a problem with my protein shakes. So what do I do?
I started using the unflavored, unsweet, obviously unsweet, unflavored, and adding it to stuff.
See, I'm lactose intolerant too.
Oh, well, you can add it to applesauce. You can add it to, I just added it
Well,
to the.
which one? Because the one I tried it has a, I don't know if it's mentally, but it has a taste there.
It still does. I use the Isopure.
Yeah, that's what I used.
Jen
And I
probably
added it
another
to
brand.
mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
Added
You just
to
gotta figure out the
everything.
temperature.
So did you
Higher.
did you try Fairlife? Cause that one is lactose free.
Before surgery, I ordered some. It's coming. It should be at my doorstep today.
Yeah, it is hard to get.
But
And-
everything
and
has a different taste.
It's like
It
Jenny
does.
said, is, thin it out if you need to.
You also
um, Isopure.
Isopure. You can find it at
ISO.
Walmart.
Or
Yep.
Amazon.
It's in the book.
Walmart and Target.
Oh, it
have-
is?
Yep.
Mhm. That's what I did for the longest time until I found other things that, I could do that were,
I don't like to do protein shakes.
But
Premier
now I'm told I have to
protein,
result back to
Undere.
stage 2 because I've been having so many issues.
Well, like even that unflavored, you could stir into like
Soup and
yogurt,
stuff.
you could stir it into
Well,
cream.
but
I'm
it's
having
just like
issues with yogurt.
can you have mashed
Applesauce.
potatoes?
Yeah, applesauce
Sprinkle
is
it
kind of
on
the only, applesauce and mashed potatoes is the only thing I've been
Add it to raw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to broth.
Right.
You can add it
Just
to
don't want
anything.
herbal tea.
Yeah.
Remove the broth and then add it because it'll.
You know, has
It has to
anybody used
be-
like the little protein shots that are like
I
42
even thought about
grams?
getting them, but I never did get those.
Yeah,
I never
there's
had
been
those.
other practices I've been a part of that, they're like 4 ounces, but they're
Right.
like 42 grams of protein.
Basically just
Yeah,
shoot them.
they're, I call them
I
protein
bought some
shots.
from I ordered some from Bariatric Pile, but when I came in, what's her name? The nurse, she told me not to get in the habit of using those every day.
Well, if you're in a situation like
Right.
this,
Yeah.
you know,
tired.
where she's not getting anything, those are very highly recommended.
Are they in the book?
If you go on, it's a site called Bariatric Pile. They have like a lot of different stuff on there.
Just Google them, concentrated bariatric shots, and they're
I
usually
actually
about
think
42.
I saw them on Amazon too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon.
After about,
Bariatric
once
Pile
you're
is there.
into like stage, maintenance, we don't really want you on a lot of protein shakes and stuff, because we want you to have solid food. But in situations, and you might hit other situations where you're ill, or you have the stomach flu, or something where you need something that's really high protein to keep your protein up, that, those are appropriate.
And I feel like I've had the stomach flu for a month. That's
You
kind of how I
might
feel.
have, it's going around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, but that's kind of how I felt.
That nausea.
Yeah.
You sure you're not pregnant?
I was just about to say that.
I can't. There's no way unless Jesus made it happen in some strange way. I mean, I'm almost
It's a
50.
miracle.
I mean, it's gotta be a
I just heard you say
Holy
twice, I
miracle.
feel like I'm pregnant.
Yes.
It's been 20 something.
But keep us in the loop too, because sometimes patients, I think you will keep us in the loop, but try and fight through it for too long when there's other options you can try. Besides Finnegan, some patients just need to come in and get IV fluids to boost them back. I mean, very rare,
We
but
were close to me having to come in to get a PICC line and I was like, nope, I'm just.
as
I'm
much
just-
as you fight against it,
I've been making
to
protein
make yourself feel
pudding
better.
is
then
what
you
I
do.
do.
Yeah, last night I got those
Protein
fluids in the ER and I
But
felt
it's
way
still-
better
Yes.
than before I went there.
Right.
Well, I kept asking them to give me fluids in the ER and they wouldn't.
I
I was like, can we sue them? I'm like,
No. Call
Let's just
them
not
up
go
and-
down that road.
Call up this practice and tell them that what they're saying, and they'll make them.
See, I sit with my water all day long, so
They
I'm
need to
probably
call
not
them.
recording it.
You're
I'm
doing
getting at
good.
least
Yeah.
32 ounces,
Good.
but I know I should be getting. Okay, that's enough time.
Two more girls. I'm Kristen. I had my sleep on the 7th of December, so 4 weeks on Thursday. So, I mean, so far so good. I've had some nausea, but I had a hard time distinguishing pain from nausea. I couldn't figure out what was going on. Anyways, it's been better. I had a hernia repair at the same time, so I think that made it a little bit more miserable. Just that I could only sip like the smallest anything, or it hurt. I could feel it, and then God forbid I forgot, and I like took a gulp of something. I was like, so
Yeah.
But I mean, so far so good. I started, soft foods on Friday. I don't want to eat anything ever. Like I don't care to eat at all. I don't think about it. I'll forget about it if I don't like actively, consciously think about it. Which is really bizarre because I love food too. I could eat like all the time. So I mean, I can't complain other than a little bit of nausea, but I'm so fan of pork. Although when I was in Australia, I was like this thing, so I took it all. I was like, what do you got? Give it all. So it better didn't work. But I mean, and then Dr. Strickland asked me, he said, what kind of diets have you done? And I said, you'll probably be quicker to take a list of what I haven't done, because what I have done is everything.
That was me.
And I would lose 50 and gain 60, and lose 60 and gain 70, and I thought, I'm 48 years old, my husband is 57 years old, and he's in much better shape than I am, and I don't want him to have to care for me my whole life just because, I'm overweight and things are hurting, and I'm just getting to where my blood pressure is just getting too high, and my lipid level is just, I'm just getting there, and I thought, all right, So, protein shakes are disgusting. Like, I didn't like them before surgery. No, I don't like them after. But there's something called Seek, S-E-E-Q, that I ordered, and I hate to order this stuff because it's like $50, and if you get it and it's terrible, I hate to waste the money, but it's like water. And it's really sweet, and it says you're supposed to put it in like 12 to 16 ounces, but I put it in like 30. And it's still pretty sweet, but it tastes good. It tastes like mangoes. So I mean, like mangoes. But, so I've been able to do that, but like the IsoPure, like liquid, like what? Yeah, that stuff's gross. I have to like add a shot of some kind of meal to that stuff to drink it.
Are you talking about the protein waters?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do those.
I can do
Oh,
the
no.
sequence, but that's the only
No, I
one.
have been drinking those. Only the cherry there.
But that's
Doesn't matter
that
which
is your
one.
protein. A
long
lot
as
of
you're
people
getting
have done that.
They do-
added,
they
like, you
do
added
throw
the
them
Yeah,
out.
I shot a meal
yeah,
to it.
yeah,
That's a good idea. They
Yeah.
drum them out now.
I was like, there has to be something to cut this, 'cause this is gross.
Yeah, that is smart.
And then there's that like plant protein,
all the plant-based stuff
Oh
is
my
disgusting.
gosh. That
They
was
like that.
awful. I took one sip and blew the whole thing out. I was like, this is terrible. I mean, I don't like anything artificial. Like I'd rather eat less cheese than eat like low fat cheese. I just don't like it.
Are you heading into maintenance now? Not
I'm
quite.
only
When
at
was
soft
it?
food.
When did you say?
I started soft food last Friday.
Okay. So you got a couple more weeks of that.
Yeah, I'm getting there. But,
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't care if I eat it. Like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
It just like it's bizarre. It's like
Yeah,
I'm
it is
trying
kind of
a lot.
strange, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, I went through Christmas and I like cooked it all. Like I cooked regular Christmas all of it. And I didn't care that I didn't eat anything. I like warmed up my little thing of squash soup and I ate it. And that was it. And I ate this much and that, same thing with New Year's. I cooked it all and I thought, I don't even care. So,
I was happy to cook for my family. I was like, hey, I love to cook for my family. Watch me eat. It's great. You're here.
You missed it.
You skipped over you.
Okay, my name is Vanessa, and I had surgery September the 26th, so it's been like 3 months and a week. The holidays was rough, but I made it through. Before Christmas, I worried about we was going to Myrtle Beach for 5 days, and I was just like, what am I going to do? So I decided to just take my food because I don't believe in going on vacation and cooking. But I felt like, you know, I just had to, you know, do that, you know. When my husband and my kids, they just went out places, to eat, you know. Sometimes I would go with them, sometimes I wouldn't, you know. I learned a long time ago that, just when they bring the food to you, just ask for, like I said, ask for a carry out and just get it out your way, you know. You know, the first time I went out to eat, I think I had like 4 string beans and a little piece of fish about that big. But the unique thing about it is hunger. I don't feel hunger. And I pray to God that I don't ever feel that, you know, hunger again. And I'm sure somewhere along the line, you know, I probably would, you know, start feeling hungry again. But that's an issue, you know, to me. I don't want to feel that because I'm afraid of, you know, eating. My thing was sweets and stuff like that. And now the taste of sweets, that hasn't came back here. You know, anything really sweet is just nasty to me, you know. And I hope that stays away too. But it's probably gonna come back eventually also. So I'm just taking day by day, you know. My scales at home, I bought a new scale, and you know, the first one had me weighing all kind of crazy. I said, my husband, come step on here and see. Is this right? You know, and his will be right and mine. One day I'll be 10 pounds lighter, and the next day I'll be 10 pounds heavier. I said, no, it's the scales. It is not me. So I bought new scales, and now, you know, I don't weigh every day. I probably would go crazy if I did, you know. Once a week. Sometimes I skip a week and go twice. You know. I think, no, twice a month. Every 2 weeks, you know, I think it's good because you see your progress.
You don't really see a stall. The longer you can go without it, I was doing it every 3 weeks, never had a stall.
Yeah. But you had one, but you just didn't know it. Or don't know it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because that's kind of scary too, to know that, you know, we're not losing. What causes stalls? Anybody know?
6 weeks, and when you get introduced to the new foods. Sorry. What being personal. Like when you get to 6 weeks and you can start introducing all the foods because you're actually eating food. And like, so for me, like I hit that 3-week stall, a 6-week stall, and then a 9-week stall. But it's like, I'm more aware of it because I weigh in every day.
Yeah.
But for me, it was every time I changed a different food stage. But I did that stall because I could introduce more foods, so I was eating more, and then I just would stall out. Because I wasn't changing how much I was working out or lifting more weights or anything. I was just changing how much food I was bringing in.
Sometimes it's that. Sometimes people, you know, don't exercise as much. Sometimes it's just your body. Our bodies are conservationists. They say,
that's what
hold
you
on,
told me.
hold on, you know, and like in other normal diets, people go and they lose weight and then they plateau and they don't make it through, you know, they just give up and go back to their old eating habits. You know, sometimes your body wants to conserve, but you've got to just keep up your good habits. Make sure you're doing what's right, getting plenty of fluid, getting your good protein, getting exercise almost every day. You know, some kind of exercise, you know, and if you're stalled, you're going to see another weight decrease, especially early on like you are.
Well, I was a little late because I went to fitness center.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to start water aerobics.
Oh,
next
awesome.
week.
That's
so
great.
I'm really excited about that. You know, it's going to be like 3 times a week.
That's
times.
great.
Yeah, and it's like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
That's awesome.
You know, right after work, and I work like maybe 3 minutes from it on Farmers Drive.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, you know, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's a nice move right there. I know what you're talking about. That's good. Well, that's awesome. And I just want to slightly introduce, and then believe it or not, it's like almost
We have a lot of people to
A
get
lot of
through.
good, yeah, but a lot of good things. But you know, this is the time of setting goals, right? And I think that's important, and I want Brianna to explain a little bit more about SMART goals. But one thing that I want you to think about is, don't be so quick to make goals. Like, reflect a little bit more on where you're at and what's been good, you know, what you want to continue to do well. And think about how you need to progress in certain areas. Not, I haven't done this well, or this didn't go, but think about where you need to progress, and then begin to make goals. Sometimes people make hasty, quick goals, and they haven't really reflected on where they are and where they're coming from. Some of you, a lot of you, thank you so much for coming. You're early in the stages, and think about, you know, where you want to go. Some of you are a little bit further out, and maybe, you know, you want to maintain, or you want to continue weight loss, or maybe up exercise or something, but just do some thinking. Don't be so quick to make goals without reflecting. And then when you're ready, we want to talk a little bit about SMART goals.
And I think we get overwhelmed by goals a lot of times of, you know, they're either too general or too specific. So we overemphasize it or we don't emphasize it enough. So there's a balance to everything, right? So saying I want to exercise more, that's not really an attainable goal. But neither is 7 days a week I'm going to exercise for 60 minutes. That's just not, I mean, unless you're training for a marathon, I just don't think it's very realistic. But coming up with something that's practical and realistic, and not just with exercise. And I think about the mind and body. You know, I think a lot of people this year I've talked to about goals that don't believe in goals or whatever is just being off their phones more, and naturally being off your phones more, hopefully you move more, you know, and so it transpires into something else. So just thinking about something that you could, tiny that would start with, and then it trickle down to something else, you know. A lot of patients want to move more. You don't have to get a gym membership, but if that works for you, that's great. Sometimes it's just walking on your lunch break around the building. Jenny does it every day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I had the focus. But so any of y'all had any goals that specifically want to hone in on this year?
On the support group more frequently.
Oh, yay!
And I did join a gym.
Good.
I joined Planet Fitness. Awesome. To start actually going. Saying that I'm a member.
It's good to be a member.
You know, one time I joined, because they make it real easy for you to join, like during the new year online.
yes.
So I paid for Planet Fitness for a whole year and never went.
Yeah.
And they will continue to take you
They
money.
count on that. They count on that, yeah.
And support groups realistic too. Not
love
coming
that.
every month if you can't make it, things happen. But even with support group, when I talk to my patients and I say, hey, I think you would benefit from support group. It sounds corny in our minds, but even we talk about how much we get out of it. You know, just hearing other people and being inspired, it motivates us, it creates accountability, and it gives us support. And you know, there's nothing that can't be said within this group that anybody should ever feel judged or anything. That's what we're here for. So that's a great one. Just come, even if you made it twice a year, that's awesome. You know? Anybody else?
I did my resolution a little bit early, but I can't remember who it was. It might have been you, Brian. I said, check YouTube because I have a knee problem. And I found a wonderful chair yoga program. And so I've been doing my chair yoga. Either my husband will sleep later than me because he's retired and I'm not. So I've been doing it, if I can, in the mornings, but in the evenings. But it's actually 30 minutes flies by.
Great.
And I find too that she weaves in the breathing, so there's some mindfulness that goes along with it. So you're thinking about how you're feeling and how your body's feeling. And I really enjoy that. And I also am waiting on my call from the trainer for the wellness center.
Oh, yeah.
So I can start getting a training plan.
Health directions.
So
Yeah.
that's gonna be
That's great.
There's so many good YouTube videos.
There are.
There are. And it helps with decreasing stress too, you know, I'm all about that. But no, I mean, I think they have 15-minute ones, and just cutting it on and just doing the breathing. I mean, and it automatically decreases your anxiety, because we all have it.
Yeah.
You know, just a little bit off of you.
The only thing about this lady that drives me nuts is that she keeps forgetting right and left. And it's like, okay, I'm just gonna do this hand and this hand, because like, she'll say it and it's like, we just did the right hand.
Yeah.
But it's, it works really, it's helped a lot.
That's great. That's awesome.
So at what point can we start actually working out? You know, like adding weights or whatever. I mean,
At
'cause
6 weeks, they lift your lifting restriction.
At 6
Oh.
weeks.
6 weeks, yeah, yeah.
That's exactly.
Oh, but yeah.
Well, just a little article, you might have seen this, if you're pretty far out, you might have seen this in a newsletter that Catherine had written on SMART goals. And then, maybe in different corporate situations, you might have used something like this, you know, SMART goals. But this is a great example, like you know, your goal is to drink more water. I will aim for 6 cups per day, you know. And then trying the next M, I will track my progress. I'll track my progress by logging how many glasses I drink. You know, maybe you don't log every single little glass, but you know, like, your tumbler is 30 ounces. And, oh, I drank through that, so that's 30, and I need to get another one of those. You know, you can measure it. I will achieve this goal by doing the following. I'm gonna buy a new tumbler. I'm gonna use some of my Christmas money to buy a new thing. Or I'm going to put out 4 water bottles and know that I need 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, you know, something like that. This goal helps me because it's gonna help me with weight loss, staying more hydrated, and I'll complete this goal by what date. So that kind of goes through the SMART. So you can measure, it's not just, I wanna be healthier. You know, okay, but what does that mean? You know, I'm gonna add 1 more vegetable to my, you know, daily intake or something, or I am gonna walk at lunchtime twice a week this week. You know, slowly, gradually adding things to your goals. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys used SMART goals before, like at work and stuff?
It does work.
And I have to set my timer on my phone, especially if I'm at work, to remind myself to do things, because I'll get so busy in what I'm doing.
Yes.
I'll look up and go, oh crap, it's lunchtime, and I haven't even,
Yeah.
you know, so I don't like cell phones, but I like doing that on my cell phone.
Yeah.
So it'll give me an alarm and I'll know it's time to do something.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know, and you talked about MyFitnessPal, that I've used MyFitnessPal in the past when I've done things, but with this one for the last year, I've used the Veritastic app.
Yeah.
And that one has been really helpful for me, and it's got a place in there where you were talking about alarms. It's got a place in there where you can add in like your medications you take. It'll also it'll alert you at the time when you're supposed to take it. Also meals, it'll alert you when you're supposed to have your meal. And I used that in the beginning because, you know, I needed to do the timing on it, and you know, I was asleep, so I wasn't, you know, didn't know when it was going to be 12, so I needed, you know, in the first few weeks or whatever. So anyway, so I used that, and it has been very helpful in tracking all the things that, you know, because it has in there like for your meals, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you put in what your foods are and all that stuff. So just like you would at some of the other apps, and so that's been very helpful until I started, a few weeks ago, and this is one of the questions that is on my chart, you know, when you go and check in on my chart, and for this appointment anyway, is it'll ask you, one of the questions is, or it may be something that, Jenny, that you've asked, it says something about, are you eating junk food, or there's some sort of phrase like that. And I always say no, because I don't eat junk food. I mean, to me, that's like regular potato chips and candy and burgers and, you know, I mean, McDonald's, that kind of thing. But in the last few weeks or so, I've had, our last couple of months actually, I've been so busy with so many things, like with so many other people. But I have relied more on beef sticks and Built bars. If anybody knows about Built bars, you know what I'm talking about, but they're protein bars.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get a lot of protein. They're good macros. And some of them taste good, some of them are a little difficult to, you know, get down, but when you have to, you know, when you're busy and you have to have some protein, or you just have to have something to eat, you've gotta, you know, have something. So I've gotten too dependent on those, and that's one of my goals.
Well, that's awesome.
Because I've gotten way too dependent on those, and to me, those are junk food. It's not in the macro sense a junk food, what I consider junk food, but
Processed.
I-
Highly
but-
processed.
yeah, and so I'm not getting the real protein. You know, that's been the last couple of months. It's just been too many days a week that I've been doing too much of that, and so that's one thing that I still put it on my logging on my Veritastic app. Still logged it. I've still put it in there. And when I go back and I look at my macros up at the top of it, because it'll show you for that whole day after you end up what you got. I don't like it. So I'm like, well, how did that happen? And so then, you know, I started looking back down, you know, at what I ate that day. And, you know, I realized what I was doing. I mean, yes, it is protein, but, and it's, you know, lower in calories and lower in fat and lower in net carbs, you know, but just, you know, be wary that even though it has good macros in it, sometimes you can eat too many of those good macro things.
Absolutely.
Instead of eating the real food, the chicken or the fish or whatever it is at the times when you're supposed to have the meals and not grazing like I had done the last few weeks. That's what I found myself doing, because when you eat that protein bar or that beef stick, you know, it doesn't last as long.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, it doesn't last as long. And so, you know, of course, like I say, I'm a year out, so, you know, I've recognized these things. So, that's one of the things so I'm talking about accountability, so I'm being, accountable here.
Well, that's great, and that's what will help in those of you newbies that are, you know, you learn different things about yourself, and that's where your goals come in. And, you know, I'm doing great here, but I need to modify this, or I'm doing great in my cooking, but I need more water, or, you know, you're always evaluating.
So I have learned that I can't have them in the house if, you know, if I'm not gonna continue to do that kind of grazing or whatever. So I've had to get them out of my house.
Good.
And, yes, and out of my desk drawer. So, because I've had to learn to rely on them, you know, too many times, so, anyway.
Well, we're gonna close it up. I know we've kept you to after 7, but, think about your goals. If you have more questions, you can always call us. You know, you can always come in. Best of luck to those of you that are just starting up, struggling through things. But you'll get there. You'll get there. And hopefully you made some new friends and get some more contacts, people who can give a call, get some help. So, okay. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes, have you not done that? Let me turn this recording off.
Jenny, I'm glad you remembered.
Remembered what, hon?
Hit the button.
Oh.